Another problem this film has, when the soldiers show up and they have the screw, basically drill the cameras into their head, they look like fucking cyborg cops. You know what the cyber cop looked like on that VHS cover for David Bradley's Cyber Cop? They look like a freaking shitty version of that. They look fucking laughable. They look like shit. It's like the prototype X-29A robot from that direct-to-video movie get kicked their ass with like one pinky. So, you miscast some of the soldiers who really don't look like soldier material. I mean, the gangbanger from fucking East Cali. Come on, man. Don't buy it. And really, give me a break. He gets his ass killed real easily. The score is awful. I don't know who. There's somebody on IMDb who said, "Oh, it reminds me of John Carpenter." I'm like, really? Once again, I'm going to use the drugs excuse. Can I have some? Because I want to know how you would even have heard this score and thought of John Carpenter. The score sucks. I don't even call it a score. There are moments where literally they have fucking tribal drums in the background. Like, and you're like thinking like, what the fuck? Am I watching Ghosts in the Darkness? Am I watching Cirque du Soleil again? Because it can't be, because at least in the Cirque du Soleil show that I saw, they were juggling fire and shit. Totally out of place to hear this fucking drums in the background. It was fucking laughable. So, and it's just a film. There's not much to it. The first half is just talking and boring shit and just padding. And then you get just glorified cameo roles by Van Damme and Lundgren, which is insulting. And then just the Pitbull just doing uninteresting fight scenes. Just overkill. And then, soldiers getting wasted like they're fucking, nothing. And then just a plot that's pretty fucking, run-of-the-mill. And just, honestly, just a fucking forgettable sequel. Which, honestly, I don't understand why it gets all the praise it gets. If you like it, that's fine. But I don't want to see any comments from some assholes like the one on IMDb who said, well, people who don't like this film need to take the thumb out of their ass! It's like, you know what? You really take the thumb out of my ass? Why don't you take your head out of your ass? Okay? How about that? And try to look at this film for what it really is. It's not a deep film. The deepness it's trying to do is either rip off on Blade Runner or isn't there. The deep characterization people are trying to talk about is not there. It doesn't exist. Van Damme is just everything that was likable about him in the first film, and even in the sequel, is stripped away in this film. He's completely unlikable, and honestly, looks like he's just a black hole on film. Just sucks. He's a black hole of depression. He would just suck the life out of you just watching him on this movie. It's just sad and pathetic. Lundgren, he's got like a 5-minute cameo role where basically most of his dialogue is just taken ripped from Blade Runner, then gets in a so-so fight with Van Damme. Ends up with him getting a pipe shoved in his head and his head blown off. And the whole thing where he kept asking, I had something that I was going to tell you but I can't remember, it makes this whole thing that he was trying to build up fucking pointless. So that's basically what I'm getting down to this sequel is, it's fucking pointless. You know why the sequel is pointless? Because it doesn't do anything to carry on from the other film. A sequel is supposed to, carry on something from the first film. Sort of, try to make it, carry something over, try to be its own film. And yes, the film does end up being its own film, but it's not a very entertaining film, for one, in my opinion. And it's pointless because you have Luke Devereaux. And instead of doing a sequel to see what happened, with his family, what happened with the porter, what happened, did he, figure out his memories, what happened with the doctor saying, did he get cured of this? Because the doctor was saying, like, you need help, without some of these treatments, you can end up having a stroke. Never touched upon in this sequel, which is supposed to be a true, honest sequel to Universal Soldier. And it just adds nothing. It adds nothing to the original film. It adds absolutely nothing to the original film whatsoever, in my opinion. It just takes everything away from the original film. It takes everything that was likable about Luke Devereaux away. Just makes him a complete zombie. You bring back Dolph Lundgren for what? To say some bullshit philosophical, shit that makes no damn sense, and then to die. Great. First off, how the fuck did they bring him back to life? I know they cloned him probably, but how is there anything left? The military at this point didn't know anything about the Universal Soldier Project because the Unisol Project was off the shelf, supposedly. So, when everybody who was involved with the Unisol Project was dead, how the fuck would the military know about it when in the first place they didn't know about it at all? So, buying the fact the military, basically created Unisols again to help fight these wars doesn't make any sense because this project was off the shelf in the first film. So, what the fuck? So, how the fuck did they know about it? Second, how the fuck did they clone? How the fuck did they find anything to clone Lundgren with? Was there anything left? I mean, it was in the middle of a rainstorm. He was probably, the pieces of him or inside the thresher. But probably afterwards, Van Damme and his parents probably had to clean it out. And probably whatever was left probably would have decomposed. You can't make a clone out of just blood. You can't do it. So, the skin probably would have decomposed. It would have nothing left to clone Lundgren with. So there wouldn't have been anything left over. If the film is to explain that there was something left over, then I wouldn't have an issue with this. But the fact that the film thinks it's so brilliant and so deep that it forgets to mention these kind of important things, like why Van Damme is acting like a zombie, why Lundgren is even back in the first place, just seems like either the script is lazy, or they kind of didn't really use their fucking noodle. So basically that's the thing. It's a pointless sequel because it does not add anything to the original. And there are sequels that don't add things to the original, end up being their own film that I like because they end up doing something different. But this film ends up trying to do something different, and all it ends up doing is boring me to tears. So anyway, I don't know what else to say except, and also one more thing that I have a problem with this film, and it's a big thing too. Why the fuck do you have all these soldiers, and these soldiers are just getting killed off right and left, but why the fuck do you have soldiers and Unisols? I mean, I thought the Universal Soldiers were supposed to be like 10 times better than regular soldiers, so they really didn't need the help of soldiers. So if you have like a team of Unisols, you don't need the soldiers. So it just screams that they just needed some Call of Duty type shots and just needed amp up the body count to get all these soldiers just wasted, and then basically I really just add some padding to the running time and add some gunplay. That's really about it. And that kind of irks me. It really does. That, you have Unisols. In the first two films, they've been, basically, soldiers are obsolete. So why do we have soldiers tag along with Unisols? So, anyway, I don't know what to say except this film fucking sucked my dick in the wrong way. Just pretty fucking terrible. Useless sequel. Pointless, like I said, doesn't add anything to the original film. I don't understand the praise that it gets. And worst of all, it's just boring. And, and it suffers from a severe case of Nolanitis. And so basically, I don't know what else to say except thanks. If I was going to review it out of 4 stars, I almost don't want to give it any stars, but I got to give it 1 star just for that one scene. The so-so fight between Lundgren and Van Damme. And the scene with Van Damme knifing people. But that's it. There's nothing else in this film that I can remotely recommend to anybody. But if you like it, that's fine. Be my guest. But anyway, thanks for watching my review. More like rant on Universal Soldier Regeneration. And I'm really not looking forward to a new dimension because it'll probably will be a new dimension of shit. And I don't want to see shit thrown in my face in 3D. No, thank you. So, anyway, I'd like to see how they explain bringing back Lundgren again for the 3rd time. I really like to see that. But anyway, thanks for watching my rant on Universal Soldier Regeneration, and I will see you later. See you.